hottest on the scene. Gemstones from the dust. Big dog, Maxi Leash. Cause I love in the streets. Pour my heart on the beat. See that blood on my sheets. Yeah, when me ready, me hit it heavy. I zoom out the pride of my people already. Tell my Ellie, me I'm just sharing my journey. I'm thankful that people they hear me. Tribe of Joseph, I'm ahead of the bunch. P5, I was starving for months. A running cutscene, but on my pockets, me need my DNA. Baby for lunch, but we call me a star before BBC. Don't take a lot to get rid of.
In a few months' time, snow will blanket the Great Peaks just to our west, but for now, summer still in full swing at Empower Field in Mile High. Today,
I'm the best, I'm the best, and I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get on go, get on go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, I'm the best, and I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get on go, get on go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. Three for the bank and they know I'm in prison. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking no from my boy heavy. I'm the best and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I pick up when I call it. Working big and it don't hurt to break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he lead a do it, Mr. Know I got him running to it. I'ma need the full amount before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run like a runner do it. Stun on her till like a stunner do it. I'm the best, I'm the best. And I got it, and I got it on my own.
in a few months' time, snow will blanket the Great Peaks just to our west, but for now, summer still in full swing at Empower Field in Mile High. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, they set the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
A give running left, McAllister. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
That was the first third down try of the game, and clearly something was in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So first and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 20-yard line. They begin the drive with Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now Wilson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. It led to a very quick sack. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's Smith to return it. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. And his throw is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing, Mills. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too. Up the middle they go with McAllister. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. And they'll run again. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here. Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance, because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. That's returnable now for Smith. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Running right, here's McAllister. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, here's Mills. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Texans have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. On 2nd and 12, Wilson. That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it, but couldn't pull it in. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mills. Caught left side by Mechie. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mills. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. 21-0 our score after 1. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball. They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
After the sack on first down, Wilson, and he fires one incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
The Broncos on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14. Throwing is Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. And the Texans will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On the give, McAllister with it. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Play action now. Mills. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Stuck for a loss by the linebacker, Josie Jewell. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Mills. Being chased out left. And it's incomplete.
Well, my initial thought was that maybe he was just trying to blindly throw this one away, and maybe he was. But he's going to get away with it because as he tried to throw it over the left sideline there, there's a receiver right there in the area, so no grounding call.
Looking to throw is Mills. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it. So they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides to be thrilled with that.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of the kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. On the move past the 40, past the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Melvin Gordon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are able to cut into that deficit. And here Brandon McManus for the point after. He's got it, and that makes our score 24-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone. And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out. Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Mills. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown. Nico Collins. 60 yards. And the Texans continue to pull away here in this first half. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Jalen Petrie picks it off, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Well, there are several factors at play for why they face this deficit right now, Charles, but that's now 3 interceptions that he has thrown and just giving the football away pretty careless here in the opening half. Yeah, I know that all of our parents taught us to share as youngsters, but in this game, you don't want to share with the other team. Keep it for yourself. Keep it for your team. Got to cut down on all of those throws, those errant passes, and they hope to get back into this game. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And a route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Play action. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first two quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
When you enter the game as the AFC Player of the Week award winner, you expect runs like that and then some.
It was fun to watch him in the opener last week in Week 1. He was spectacular and hoping for more here in Week 2. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not where they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover. They want to try to put points on the board.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Desmond King picks it, and he'll take this back down inside the 20.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
A handoff to McAllister. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Texans take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. On third down, Wilson finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So from the 36 now, first and 10. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of...
Brought down by Malik Collins. A loss of a yard brings up second and 11 at the 35-yard line.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Here's Wilson to throw. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So first and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43. Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll get this to Melvin Gordon out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. A give to Williams, running right. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Javonte Williams, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos are able to at least get one score back. McManus's point after is good. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Still comfortably on top, third quarter as they start things here with a first and 10. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Mills to throw it. Open man there is Collins, complete. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans are pouring it on. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They find some open field here. There goes Melvin Gordon. The 20, 10. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Melvin Gordon with career touchdown number 70. And the Broncos are able to claw one back. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone.
Oh, good return up past the 30. Past midfield. The 30. 10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Texans. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. 30. 10. Touchdown Broncos. Cortland Sutton. 84 yards. And the Broncos are able to eat in just a bit to the sizable deficit. Wilson going to throw for it. He's got it at the 2. And he is not going to make it to the end zone. And that's pretty reflective of their game as a whole, as they'll remain down by a bundle. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles, and I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he stopped immediately there. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. Mills now. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made.
And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
A loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 10-yard line.
On the carry, it's McAllister. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown it.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Christian Harris picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And my goodness, another interception.
Jalen Petrie picks it off.
And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. They'll run up the middle with McAllister. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Justin Simmons.
And the Broncos are going to get the football here at their own 23.
Now, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talking about keeping someone in the game instead of being able to shut the door. It's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Out to his left. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Up past the 30, second down coming up.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. From the 31, Mills. He'll drop it off to McAllister as running back. Room here to run. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Here's Mills. He's got it to Collins, complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, yep. And that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Here's Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And taken at the 46. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Looks like he'll throw here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's letting it fly for Cooks.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They can continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Patrick. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Play action. Now Wilson. Into the hands of Patrick, left side. And they'll get this down to the 10. On first down, Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
2nd down and goal. Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Desmond King picks it. And the Texans come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. But Charles, a lot of happy faces.